viewers, and welcome to my vlog. My vlog is Roblog, and I call it that because, well, it is my vlog, and I can call it whatever I want to. Welcome. Happy holidays. Can you see what's over my shoulder out here? It's not the usual green that's out here. We had over 20 centimeters of snow here on the island. Some parts of the island got 30 centimeters of snow, but we have, I think it's around 20 centimeters, and that's what all that white is there. Can you see right here? This is a lovely big palm tree with the bracts up here. I think they call them brackets, whatever. And there's another one right here that you can't quite see, but this is the big palm. So anyways, the palms are pretty resilient, and other places where they have these kind of palms in Italy and places in the UK, they can have a cold and snow too, and they survive. If it was a constant week or so of maybe wind chills of -12 or something, maybe a little dicey, but these palms are pretty hardy, so it's kind of sad to see them in the snow though, I think. So that's what all the white is out there, so do not adjust your set. We finished A Christmas Carol. Yes, sir, and once again, I am not surprised that Scrooge saw the light. I mean, he had 3 scary ghosts. He should have, they were there to teach him a lesson, and that man picked up on it, and he was jumping around and yelling down into the street to that young man about the turkey, and gave Bob Cratchit more money and helped out Tiny Tim, and he was as good as man as the good old city ever saw. And, well, we're happy about that, too. I don't know, some years I wonder, but we came through. And at the beginning of this little book, there's a little notation that Mr. Dickens wrote in December of 1843. And he says, "I have endeavored in this ghostly little book to raise the ghost of an idea which shall not put my readers out of humor with themselves, with each other, with the Christmas season, or with me. May it haunt their houses pleasantly, and no one wish to lay it." What? Anyways, their faithful friend and servant, Charles Dickens, December 1843. They kind of talked a little funny back then, But not that there aren't some funny talks today, too. We say some things a little strangely, and especially some of the young kids. What? You want to say sometimes. Anyways, as over for another year, Charles Dickens, A Christmas Carol. Now, a friend of mine sent me this lovely bookmark, which I used in this book. I don't think I showed it on camera before, but it's a lovely bookmark here. Kind of the things in the way here. Look at this little baby reading the book with glasses. No, it's not me. But, anyways, I appreciate the bookmark, and I do read all the time. And I have magazines that I need bookmarks for, and books and various things, and even things here that I'm doing on this Rob blog. I have to, mark things down here in front of me. So I'm kind of like a news broadcaster sometimes, I feel like it, that I have all these things laid out on the desk here so I can go through them to remember to tell you. So you see, look at, fits right in. Getting close to the end of the year. Love and joy be all around. Mr. Putin, yoo-hoo, love and joy be all around. Never mind, it's the holiday season, but I wish he would see the light, or he would see something else, preferably 6 feet under. I know that's not very holiday-like, and I'm sorry for that, viewers. I apologize for it, but come on, love and joy be all around. Isn't that lovely? And you got to work on that. It doesn't come easy. It should come easy, but in some cases it doesn't come easy. And horrific things happen. Besides that war over there, look at those poor people in that condo building in Toronto, in Vaughan, which is a little bit north of Toronto. Heavens. One of the reasons I would not want to live in an apartment building, especially a tall one. And we have friends, actually, who are moving into one in Toronto, and they're on the 44th floor. It has 52 floors. 44 floors up in the sky to be living there. I would never sleep at night. Viewers, I wouldn't. I would be worried all the time about the 43 floors underneath me and then the dozen floors above me. No, we were not meant, I don't think, to live 44 stories up. but a lot of people do, and they love it. And yes, the views are lovely, but we have lovely views where we live here, and we're not 44 floors up, and we see mountains and everything. Anyways, sad things still happen, whether it's the holiday season or not. There are buggers out there in the world. Literally, that's what I have to call them. There are buggers out there in the world. And I wish they would just smarten up. Love and joy be all around. The end. A few other things this week. Oh, do you like my Santa hat? Isn't it nice? This big ball keeps hitting me in the face here, but it's a lovely Santa hat. Maybe you can't see the whole thing. Can you see it now if I bend down a bit? Look at that. Lovely. Cheery. Trying to keep you all in the mood. I would be in a better holiday mood if this stuff out here was green and not white. But here's what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen, around the world, across Canada, wherever. By Saturday, we're supposed to be 7 degrees and rain, and it's like 8 degrees Christmas Day and Boxing Day. So you see how it changes? Now, Thursday and Friday were supposed to be mild too, but I think Mother Nature has changed that, and there's more cold temperatures and a mix of rain and snow. But come Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, a lot of this would melt. And even when we were clearing some walkways this morning, because the ground is still warm, it starts to melt from the lower end instead of the upper side. It melts underneath. And anyways, I will be in a much better mood when this goes. It's beautiful. I mean, it has been a beautiful day, and looking out at our view on our lanai out into the Cowichan Valley and all the mountains of that, it's gorgeous. It's picture perfect, viewers. PP, picture perfect. So that much I will give it. And there was a bit of sunshine today and over all the trees on the mountains, and it was gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. We have been 10 to 15 Celsius below normal, 10 to 15 degrees below where we normally should be here on the island. And this snow we have received, it could be the cold weather too, but certainly the snow is the most snow we've received in over 10 years. And way back, I believe, a bit longer than that, in 1998, 99, they also got a whack of snow like this as well. So it doesn't happen very often. And as I've said before, here on the island with this Mediterranean climate, I think they might even call it a sub-Mediterranean, but it's very close to the climate they might see in parts of Italy or in the UK or in southern France. You still can get a little bit of snow, but this is more than a little bit. But the snowiest in over 10 years. And someone had a lovely picture, something I was reading, it might have been a YouTube video, I'm not sure, but I did read the comment, and someone had left a picture, I think it was on a news site, come to think of it, like CBC News or something, and someone had a picture of a palm tree, and next to it, a bit of snow on the ground and whatnot. This was a day or two ago. And one of the reasons why I hate social media, because there's some real out there. And this person just posted this picture of the palm with a bit of snow on it and the bit of snow on the ground, and said, what seems stranger to a lot of people in Canada looking at the picture? Well, of course, a lot of places in this fine country of ours do not have palm trees, and some places don't see the snow like usually here. So I thought it was kind of a neat picture. And then about the fourth comment down, a lady, and I'm not going to mention her name, doesn't matter, she says about the snow picture with the palm. She said two things: palm trees, period, ugly, period. I mean, really. I don't know. Go back to the honestly, we have to change in this world. This world, I'm telling you, is going to hell in a handbasket. It's so different. And I'm really surprised that Christmas is still retaining its love and its joy every year. Love and joy be all around once again. But for some reason, love and the joy of the holiday seasons seems to come through every year. And in most places in the world, maybe not those poor people in the Ukraine are feeling that this year, but they're still marching on. They're still celebrating Hanukkah, and happy Hanukkah to anyone of our Jewish friends that are listening or watching. And so, I mean, they're still trying to do that, but they have cold and they haven't got the power, and it's awful. And I'll bet you, Mr. Putin, I bet you he's not sitting in some cold apartment somewhere and having trouble cooking his food. Oh, don't get me started. I'm trying to be nice for the holiday season. That's what I'm trying to be. And, I think it's quite jolly. We did the whole Christmas Carol thing, and I think that's a good start to the holiday season. And it doesn't matter how often I read A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, whether I'm reading it on my own or whether the last couple of years, like I've read it, to you, or the couple of years that I did a reading. One year it was for CBC back in Ontario where I lived. And every time I read it, I find paragraphs in that which I don't remember before, because of the story as we know it, and as I basically told it and ad-libbed about it. There's a lot of stuff I left out. I mean, there's tons and tons of where he kind of segues off to these other things, but it's all nicely written, and some of it is not quite as spirited holiday-wise. Like the whole thing isn't like a Christmas cheer from beginning to end. There's some scary things. That's why Mr. Dickens called it a ghost story. There are some strange things in there too, and spooky things. When that one spirit has the kids. When he pulls his jacket back and he has the kids underneath there. One of them is Want, and I forget what the other one is right now. But yeah, there's some lessons to be learned from Dickens. A Christmas Carol. And again, I thank you for the people who have people that I know who have emailed me and said, thanks for that again. And one friend said, well, they didn't know what they were going to wear to the funeral if Tiny Tim didn't make it. So they were awfully glad that Tiny Tim pulled through, as most of us are, And there's a lot of people who aren't so keen on Mr. Scrooge. I mean, yes, he is a nasty, nasty man, but like the Grinch, he saw the light. And maybe people in this world of ours will see the light too. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me in these days leading up to Christmas and the holiday season. And remember to make the holiday season last too. It's not just Christmas Eve and Christmas Day and Boxing Day. It goes on, for another week. So enjoy that time between Christmas and New Year's Day. Enjoy it with family and friends, and just sit and read a good book and sit in front of the fire. Marvel at the ornaments on your Christmas tree and the lights that might be twinkling. Take in all those things. Don't finish it at midnight on December 25th. Make it longer. A long, lovely, warm, and happy holiday season. Thank you for tuning in. We will talk to you next time before Christmas Day again, right here on this Roblog. So